The sun is finally here! Oh my gosh. That means it's time to work on the chaser and install something we've had for a very long time. Oh. That's right. If you can't already tell by the title of this video, we're going to be installing a HKS Silent Hipower Cat back exhaust on our JZX100 Toyota Chaser Tourer V. Oof. The reason why we went with Silent Hipower is because we want it to be just loud enough to hear a noise, but not too loud to annoy us all the time. So without further ado, let's get this box cut open, the chaser up in the air, and kick off this install. Does she open up? Oh, let's get this mid pipe out of the way. There's the nice Silent Hipower muffler. And the cool thing about this is sometimes the exhaust ends up being just too quiet, and you can literally just take this to an exhaust shop and have them straight pipe it if you want just a little bit more noise. Here's a look at everything that comes with the exhaust kit. You can see that it comes with instructions. It comes with a little booklet for your records, which I'm actually going to keep. I'll put a date on here, and I'm sure if we were in Japan you would need this for shock-in, which is vehicle inspection. Here's your JASMA certificate, which is freaking awesome, which means this is road legal in Japan, stamped and everything. Another thing too to note is if you're going to put HKS exhaust on your chaser, I got the early JZX100 chaser exhaust. I know that E designates early and then there's later. My chaser's in 1996, which is basically the first year of the JZX100 chaser. So I figured, hey, let me find the AT002 stock number for the early model JZX100 chaser. Now I know this is a small detail, and most people watching this video are just gonna be like, "Hey man, does it fit?" Or "What car does it fit on?" Or "What exhaust did you run?" That's what most of your questions. But I know that HKS on their website designates between early model and late model, and so I went with early model on a hunch. Fingers crossed. Let's hope it fits. Do I know exactly what it sounds like? No, because there are no videos online of how it sounds. So I'm willing to be the first. Enough jibber jabbering, let's get into removing the old exhaust. And also, it'll be my first time going under the car completely. That's exciting. Now, most exhaust removal, factory removals, are all gonna be the same. You're gonna have bolts, and I'm guessing those are 12 mil, that hold on the factory muffler, which is all the way back there. A little bit of rust, but hey, who cares? The car's over 25 years old. Then you have maybe your pre-muffler, which we have. Then you have another muffler, which will make this exhaust weigh a ton. Then you have a cat, and if you have a turbo, a downpipe going to the cat. Now this is a cat back exhaust, so all we're really focused on is that bolt right there. We'll leave the cat alone for today. And we'll focus on this section here. All right, we'll start with removing every bolt we can on this exhaust system, and I'll probably time lapse it because you don't need to watch me turn bolts. And also, there's nothing hard about that. You could totally do this yourself. You don't need a quick jack. You could do it with floor jacks. So an exhaust is like one of the easiest things to install on any car. I'm just gonna go ahead and loosen up all the bolts. I'll probably hit them with some PB blaster to make my life a lot easier. And then once everything gets out, then we'll talk about installing the HKS system. You just saw me chop off those old rusty bolts. Pro tip here, if you guys have one of these, I don't know what the name of it is, like vibrating saw, or I don't know what kind of saw it is. First used this when we were doing construction on the house, but this carbide bit is like the greatest thing ever compared to a cutting wheel, because it doesn't throw sparks everywhere. I mean, it throws metal shavings everywhere, as you can see, but it doesn't throw sparks everywhere, and it's really precise. It just takes a little bit longer. Odds are if you do this exhaust, you're gonna get some rusted bolts. I mean, 25 years old. Let's come over and look at the factory exhaust that just came off the car. I think this is super cool that it comes with an oval like that. I'm not gonna keep any of this. I'm gonna throw it all away. I'm not trying to salvage any of this stuff. And then we come on over to the HKS stuff, and you can tell, even though this is silent high power, it's really made to make a lot of power. Look at the diameter here, all the way through of this exhaust. This is massive. We are keeping our factory downpipe on for now, and that's a different episode. I have a feeling there's not gonna be that much like power increase, but there'll definitely be the right noises, and transient turbo lag will go away. I mean, I'm automatic, so I'm not really hammering on the car. I have a feeling that spool up will be a lot faster because this turbo can get flowing a lot faster from here. I know we have a Cat, so it's not gonna be night and day difference, but it'll be much nicer. So you saw everything come off. Now let's throw everything on. I'm gonna start with the mid pipe first, not this section, because I know these are very heavy. I don't want to drag them, and so I want to get this on immediately to give these something to bolt to. Sorry, the exposure's off, but let's go ahead and throw this on. Let's grab it here. Oh, it's been baking. That's hot. A good way to tell which one is the front. Now there are instructions in Japanese, but try to match the bend to what you just took off, right? So like this is coming, there we go. This has a little like flip up here, this has a little bend up here, and then it bends like this. So obviously this will be the part that goes to the downpipe, and then this will go to the mid section, and then we'll continue on. It came with new bolts, because obviously HKS knows that when you take off an old exhaust, you're gonna shred those bolts. They're all the same. So bolt, obviously crush, washer, and then washer. Make sure it's all in there tight, and throw the gasket on. So let's keep going.
A pro tip when you're installing your new exhaust, get the bolts in loose at first and install all the sections. This way you can wiggle them in place. The rear muffler on the Chaser, both hangers will go on the right side to match the angle perfectly to the bumper. After that, all that's said and done, torque everything down and you're done.
Before we do our first fire up, I'm gonna do a wipe down with acetone on the exhaust. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize is when you're installing an exhaust, your hands have grease on them, even natural oils. And as soon as you heat up that metal, it's gonna burn the oils into the exhaust. And so I'm just gonna wipe it off quickly with acetone and a microfiber before I give it a quick start. But that's something that will really save you in the long run. Just make sure you wipe down your exhaust before you put heat through it. Now it's time for the good old-fashioned rev test. Let's see how she sounds. Now there's only one thing left to do, and let's take it for a test drive. So let's let her rip, potato chip. All the windows are down. Now we'll do that same bridge with the windows up. Alright, as you can tell, the HKS high power exhaust is the right amount of tone, and it's quiet when you want it to be, it's loud when you want it to be. Super stoked on it. If you're in the market for an exhaust for your JZX100 Chaser, highly recommend HKS Silent High Power. This is the exhaust that we really like, and because we're a little bit older and we don't really need to be screaming through the neighborhood. Hopefully you like it, and hopefully this video gave you the knowledge you need before you make a purchase decision. We bought it hoping that it would sound good, and it does. So if you like this video and you want to see more chaser content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Definitely subscribe to the channel. We have more plans coming with the Corolla and the Chaser. The wife is eating chips off camera, so you might hear chips coming in the frame. I don't want them, and now I'm wearing salsa.